Welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Dave, the Director of Outreach and Education for the Pennsylvania Society for Biomedical Research, or PSBR. If you've had the opportunity to watch any of our other career videos, or if you've had the chance to interact directly with PSBR in your classroom, then you probably know a little bit about biomedical science. If not, let me briefly explain. Biomedical research is a broad area of science that looks to prevent and treat diseases that might cause illness or death in people and animals. A necessary part of many biomedical research projects involves working with animals such as mice and rats, and the care and treatment of these animals is paramount to the success of these research efforts. If not cared for properly, animals will become stressed or anxious, thereby compromising research results. Recently, we traveled approximately 50 miles north of Philadelphia to Flemington, New Jersey, and visited with a company called Bio-Serv. Bio-Serv creates dietary products and, for lack of a better term, toys that mimic items these animals would find in their natural setting to provide what's called environmental enrichment. Environmental enrichment items, like plastic tunnels and chew toys, enhance an animal's physiological and psychological well-being and promotes species-specific behaviors while improving animal welfare overall. Additionally, Bio-Serv has created medicated dosing systems and medicated dietary product lines, which offer precise, safe, and convenient alternatives to traditional drug delivery methods. Today, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at how Bio-Serv manufactures and produces these environmental and nutritional product lines, while also chatting with a few executives and staff along the way to give you insight into professional opportunities in this field. We will begin with a conversation with Karen Froberg, the president of Bio-Serv. Karen has been working in the laboratory animal field for over 35 years. In 1996, she went back to veterinary school, and in 2004 became Bio-Serv's president.
We've been in business for over 50 years. We're a private, small privately owned company, and we've been making research diets for a long time. It could be what we call macronutrient manipulation or micronutrient manipulation. For instance, like you could make a high protein diet or a low fat diet, or you could, with the micronutrients, you could manipulate salt. And then that transformed in about 1987, where we started to talk about environmental enrichment and then looking at the actual needs, behavioral, psychological needs of research animals and advancing actually animal welfare and how we could do that for animals. And so we transformed and started making treats for research animals, toys for research animals, and really advancing animal welfare and making things that would actually allow them to behave in a natural way in a research environment.
Now we'd like to take you on a quick tour of the Bio-Serv facility to highlight various aspects of the company, including manufacturing, product production, and administrative offices.
This is our production facility. So you'll see a lot of different rooms as you go. These are all rooms where we make product. The center here is where we store ingredients and store product. This is kind of a neat little product line that we do in here. We have a product called Dustless Precision Pellets. Dustless Precision Pellets are used in Skinner boxes, if you learned about that in school. It's where a treat comes out of a machine and the animal has to press a lever or do something to get that little treat, and those little treats are all precise sizes. So we are one of the only companies that make Dustless Precision Pellets for these Skinner boxes that we still use in science today and are very, very important.
And everything that is going out goes through our quality assurance department.
It's actually an area that is needed in all manufacturing facilities, and even many logistic companies now have a quality division that just makes sure everything is staying up to par, making sure what comes in is accurate, what goes out is accurate. They're just making sure that our products are exactly what they say. It's a fun job for people that love science, and there's honestly lots of different certifications you can get, like Lean Management and Six Sigma is part of quality. So those are things that students may want to think about if they really love the science and quality and learning statistics. Statistics is a huge part of it.
Shipping and receiving is yet another role at BioServ that helps the company run smoothly and efficiently. Another role you might consider at BioServ is being part of the production team. The production staff, oftentimes led by a production manager, is responsible for producing all of the perishable items that BioServ offers. The production team follows a product's recipe, including collating all of the ingredients and blending them together into the final mixture.
A lot of our production technicians have been here a very long time, and you don't need a high education to start a job like that. You just need to be motivated and willing to learn. Opportunity is there for anybody.
Tim began his career at BioServ sweeping floors at age 18. Since that time, he has performed every role within the company, and recently to become the Chief Executive Officer, or CEO.
I started in 1985, right out of high school, and was just no particular reason to come to BioServ. I was just looking for a job, 18 years old. So I took this job, and they called it a diet technician back then, so I was making the diets, cleaning up, doing general things like that. And then after about 1.5 years of doing that, I got a chance to do purchasing. I moved into the purchasing department. I was there for 1.5 years, and I started doing that, and then he put me in charge of the computers. And then I did that for 1 year or 2, and then he made me the production manager, and then I did technical service, where I formulated the diets and did all that kind of thing. So basically, over the last 35 years, I've pretty much worked in every position. And then I became CEO, and here we are today.
There are also many other non-science career opportunities at BioServ, such as purchasing, advertising and marketing, accounts receivable, and customer service. Finally, companies like BioServ are always looking for highly qualified salesmen and women.
I am the National Sales Manager for BioServ.
In addition to being the sales manager at BioServ, Karina holds an MBA and a Certified Manager of Animal Resources certification. She is also the enrichment specialist.
I came here about 15 years ago. I was with PP&L, Pennsylvania Power and Light, for years in their sales division. We sold everything from electric to mechanical contracting systems, and I had really gotten to be an expert where I was, and the job was easy. It wasn't a challenge for me anymore, and BioServ was looking for a sales professional at the time. And when I heard about the animals, and I heard about lab animal and biomedical research I had never knew existed, I was immediately drawn to it and thought that I wanted to take that leap. So I did. 15 years later, we have a great team here at BioServ. I've never looked back. I enjoy my job so much. It fulfills me, it's exciting. I've honestly never gotten bored over all these years, and every day still invigorating. If you're willing to learn, this is the industry to come to, because we share information. So career opportunities are kind of unlimited. It just depends where you want to go and what your interests are, and where your skill set is, what your personality is.
People don't realize that there's a lot of jobs in working with animals. It's like working in a zoo environment, but just it's on the lab animal side. You can be an animal caregiver, so you're charged with the daily care and husbandry of taking care of those animals. You can be a lab animal technician, that you're actually going and doing the day-to-day evaluation as far as their health status. You can be a skilled technician, where you're actually doing some of the surgical manipulation that might be needed in a research environment. But most of all, you're able to have a say and work with these animals every day to make sure that they're cared for in the highest regard. Whether you have a high school degree or you have a PhD, there's always a job role for working with research animals. You just have to love them.
Throughout this video today, our goal was to provide you insight not only into BioServ, its services, and the valuable role they play in biomedical research, but also the types of professional opportunities that exist in places like BioServ. A huge thanks goes out today to the entire BioServ team for allowing us to visit their facility, talk with their staff, and obtain an inside look at how they are supporting the biomedical science community. We'd also like to thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope to see you again soon. For more information about PSBR, our mission, and the programs we offer, head over to our website at www.psbr.org or reach out to me directly at my email, david@psbr.org.